today's vlog, I wanted to share some great news with you. Roman & Associates Immigration Services has been ranked as one of the top 3 immigration consultants in the Naibo, British Columbia, and I would like to introduce the manager of Roman & Associates Immigration Services na magsasalaysay ng pinagmulan ng company ito, and his name is Sir Rainiel Del Rio.
Hi, my name is Rainiel Del Rio, the Client Acquisition Manager here at Roman & Associates Immigration Services. So, let me give you background with our own licensed immigration consultant, Mr. Israel Roman. So, way back 2008, that's the time when he decided to migrate in Canada as a nurse. Pero before that, nag-work din siya and nagturo din siya. Naging siyang nursing professor dito sa country natin. And before pa ma-establish sa Roman & Associates sa Canada, marami nang matulungang kababayan sa Sir Israel na actually nagsimula lang siya sa friends and relatives niya muna eh. Kasi hindi pa naman siya licensed during that time. And then, nung nakita niya yung demand ng mga kababayans natin going to Canada, is nag-decide siya mag-aral to become a licensed immigration consultant. And fast forward, 2012, na-establish na si Roman & Associates Immigration Services sa British Columbia, Canada. And ayun, in Philippines naman, nag-start siya actually in 2019. Nag-start siya with 2 employees only. Pero as of this moment, no, we're currently 11. So 11 na po ang employees ni Roman & Associates dito sa Philippines po. And actually, hindi lang sa Philippines nagagawa ng ingay si Roman & Associates. Dahil this month, no, we are top 3 immigration consultant in Canada po. So, actually, we're expanding our offices here in the Philippines. We will make an announcement kung saan nga ba yung mga possible branches namin kasi we're branching out na nga po. And actually, ano nga ba yung mga services ni Roman & Associates? So, we have free immigration consultation. If you want to know what is the best pathway for you going to Canada, we provide it. We have study permit. So, masasabi ko na study permit is the pinakasikat na pathway going to Canada and pinakamabilis na pathway going to Canada. Of course, we have the work permit. But take note, Roman & Associates Immigration Services is not a man-pooling agency or not a manpower agency, so we cannot give you a direct employer as of the moment. But if you have your own employer in Canada, we can help you to process your work permit. We have the temporary resident visa or the tourist visa. If you want to go or visit your family or friends in Canada, we also process your tourist visa. And then we have the family sponsorship. If you already have your family in Canada and you want to migrate in Canada for family sponsorship, we also cater it. And we have the caregiver pathways. I know maraming kababayans natin na want to migrate in Canada as a caregiver. Actually, we also process it. And lastly, we have the Labor Market Impact Assessment or LMIA. So, LMIA is if you already have your own employer but doesn't know how to process the Labor Market Impact Assessment, we can help he or she to process your LMIA. And actually, that's all the services we offer here in Roman & Associates Immigration Services.
Despite of his busy schedule, appreciate naman namin na sinamahan niya tayo ngayon dito. So let's all welcome Sir Rainiel Del Rio.
Thank you for having me, Ms. Kat, on your show. And of course, I would like to say thank you for all the viewers right now. And I hope na marami akong ma-input na knowledge pagdating sa pagmamigrate going to Canada.
Yes, thank you din Sir Rain sa pagsingit mo sa schedule ng ating vlog ngayon. And actually, kaya din na-invite ka namin to do this vlog is because ang daming questions ng mga Filipinos kung paano nga ba mag-migrate going to Canada. And I know naman na marami na tayong nalaman about sa history ng Roman & Associates Immigration Services. And of course, meron kaming hinandang mga questions about sa mga services ninyo. And alam kong ready na kayo sagutin lahat ng to, Sir Rian.
Yes, ready naman. So, sige, go po.
Okay, so let's proceed to our first question. So, ito yung pinakamaraming tanong talaga. So, who is eligible to apply for student pathway?
Actually, Miss Kat, no? Maraming kababayan natin na nagtataka na ang alam nila is kailangan ba college graduate ako before ako mag-apply ng student pathway in Canada? To answer the question is no. To be honest, at least high school graduate lang po tayo, eligible na tayo mag-apply sa student pathway in Canada. Pero nakadepende siya syempre sa program na kukuhanin mo. Kasi may mga program na nag-require sila ng at least college level naman. So nakadepende siya sa program na pinili po natin.
So, medyo maganda pala or madali lang yung eligibility ng pag-apply for student pathway. So, if ever na yung mga high school graduates dyan, mga college graduates na interested na maging international students sa Canada, pwede kayong lumapit or mag-contact sa Roman & Associates Immigration Services or i-take note nyo lahat ng ibibigay nilang information ngayon sa ating vlog. And yun nga, thank you so much for answering our first question, Serenia. So for the second question, what is the process for applying a student pathway in Canada?
Ayan. Actually, isa pa yan, one of the most question talaga ng mga gustong magpunta sa Canada bilang student pathway. Ano nga ba yung process bilang international student? If ever, no, may mga options kasi na may mga ibang aplikante na gusto nila mag-DIY or do it yourself kasi kung may knowledge sila with regarding sa processing and everything, ginagawa nila yon. Pero kung ikaw ay walang knowledge pagdating sa pagpaprocess ng mga documents mo in going to Canada, no, I highly suggest na kumuha ka ng professional katulad ni Roman & Associates para mag-asikaso ng documents mo. For our process nga po is, the first thing na kailangan namin is you need to send your resume with us. For us to assess kung eligible ka nga ba mag-apply as an international student in Canada. And after that, you need to choose your school and program. Kasi yun yung isa sa pinaka-importante bagay as an international student. Kailangan malaman na natin kung saan school ka papasok, anong program i-take mo. So, yun yung unang dalawang step na pinaka-importante. And after nun, yun, magsusunod-sunod na mga documents, checklist na, and everything na po. So, ayun po siya.
So, kumbaga sir, kung ako yung mag-a-apply for student pathway, siguro mas pipiliin ko na din pumasok sa service ninyo kasi syempre gusto ko din ma-secure yung application ko and tama yung magiging process. So, sa lahat na mag-a-apply for international student and you want to be secured sa inyong application na magiging tama yung gagawin ninyo, nandito yung Roman & Associates Immigration Services para tulungan kayo.
And to add lang, Ma'am Kat, no, yan yung pinagmamalaki ni Roman & Associates. We will make sure na hindi ka stress sa pag-a-apply mo as a student, plus guaranteed ka na error-free yung magiging application mo. So we will make sure that once na nag-enter ka ng service ni Roman & Associates mo.
Yes, yun yung kagandahan na may tumutulong sa atin sa ating application going to Canada or kahit sa bansa, sa ibang bansa kasi mas mapapalagay yung loob natin ng okay yung magiging application natin and yung approval sa immigration is hindi na tayo mag-aalala kung yung decision nila is okay sa atin or kailangan pang pagbutihin yung magiging decision or yung magiging application natin. So, thank you, Sir Ray. For our third question, ito naman is karamihan din talaga sa mga Filipinos ay ito din yung ine-aim sa pagpunta sa Canada bukod sa pag-aaral. Siyempre, yung mga international student or yung mga Filipinos na ito yung laging tinatanong nila kasi siyempre bukod sa pag-aaral, tinatanong nila kung pwede din ba sila mag-work while studying in Canada and are there any restrictions?
Actually, yes. You can work while nag-aaral ka bilang international student. Then, kung may restriction nga ba is yes din po. Why? Because an international student in Canada, no, you're required to work. However, the maximum hours na pwede lang natin i-work in Canada is 20 hours in a week. You're a full-time student, pero you can work 20 hours in a week. And then, actually, yun lang yung restriction niya. And, of course, bawal na bawal tayo lumagpas sa 20 hours na schedule na sinasabi sa atin ni Immigration in Canada. Kasi sobrang higpit nila with regard sa rules na yun.
So, dito sir sa part-time work nila, so 20 hours a week, ito ba is inside campus or pwede silang mag-outside campus for work?
Yes, actually kasi yung employer kasi nila dyan, pwedeng outside the campus, pwedeng inside the campus, no? Depende naman sa magiging work ng isang international student. Pwede siyang mag-work sa inside the campus or pwede namang outside. Depende na lang kung saan siya mas comfortable mag-work.
But the good thing is, pwede pong mag-work basta 20 hours a week.
Yes.
So yun. Ito naman, curious din ako dito kasi karamihan kasi lagi ko ditong naririnig. So, ano po ba yung PGWP?
Ayan. PGWP, isa yan sa pinaka-importante na kailangan natin malaman bilang international student in Canada. Actually, PGWP is Post-Graduation Work Permit. So, ibig sabihin lang yan is, di ba bilang student, as I mentioned a while ago, 20 hours lang yung pwede mong itrabaho as an international student. Pero, man, pag natapos ko po yung program mo, that's the time na if yung school mo is nag-offer ng PGWP is you can work full-time after you finish your program in Canada. So kung gaano katagal yung work na pwede kang mag-work is depende yan kung gaano katagal yung length ng program mo. For example po, 1 year yung course mo or yung program in Canada, equivalent of PGWP na possible mag-grant sa'yo is equivalent to 1 year lang din po. So maximum stay in Canada will be 2 years. However naman, kung ang program na napili mo is for 2 years, ang PGWP na possible mag-grant sa'yo is up to 3 years po. So you can work full-time for 3 years and the maximum stay in Canada will be 5 years po.
Bali sir, sa PGWP, lahat naman ng school ino-offer yung PGWP.
Ayan, good question ma'am, no? Kasi take note, not all the schools in Canada is nag-offer ng PGWP. Because meron tayong mga private institution or private schools in Canada na hindi sila nag-offer ng PGWP. So, ayun po siya. However naman, ang mga kung private naman yung school na mapipili ng isang candidate, no, ang ino-offer naman nila is the COCO program. If you're not familiar with COCO program, it's like an on-the-job training dito sa Philippines. Ang kagandahan nun, you're paid while doing it. So, ayun po siya.
So, yun nga sir, dahil napapag-usapan na natin yung post-graduation work permit, so meron din dito katanungan na what are the post-study work opportunities available for international students in Canada?
And actually, isa yan sa mga kailangan natin i-consider if we want to become an international student in Canada. No? Hindi naman tayo pwede pumunta sa Canada na hindi natin alam yung possible na mangyari sa atin after natin mag-aral. So sabihin na natin, ano nga ba yung mga opportunities in Canada? We all know, or you know, na social media is very, talaga, no? Nakikita natin sa social media na sa Canada, may mga kulang sa work, may mga fast food na nagsasara dahil kulang sa empleyado. So, ganon karami yung possible work opportunity sa'yo after mo matapos in Canada. Pero to give you a specific na work na possible, in Canada right now, ang mga in-demand na trabaho is sa mga fast food, healthcare, so like healthcare assistant, caregiver, nurses. Pero take note for the healthcare in Canada, no?
there's no direct pathway as of the moment para sa mga healthcare sa kanila. It's either you will go with student pathway muna and magtitake ka ng possible course sa healthcare, and after mo makagraduate,
That's the time na magkakameron ka ng opportunity to work as a nurse or as a healthcare assistant in Canada po.
So that's just sa PGWP. Yung work permit na yon, since yun nga, may mga available works na may offer sa kanila, naka-indicate na doon kung saan sila pwedeng employer or job pwedeng pumasok.
Actually kasi for PGWP, kahit saan kasi pwede ka magtrabaho. So walang naka-indicate doon kung saan ka pa possible magtrabaho. Ikaw yung mahanap ng trabaho in Canada.
So bala yung work permit yung ipepresent nila para makapag-work sila.
Actually the PGWP na. So ayun.
So yun. So, yun nga, since magiging international student sila, madami din nagtatanong, are there any language proficiency requirements for international students in Canada?
ayan, take note, we all know naman na pag mag-migrate tayo sa ibang bansa, of course, hindi natin magagamit yung native language natin, which is Tagalog, right? Kasi nasa Philippines tayo, so some schools in Canada
Is requiring you to get an IELTS. Kung wala pang idea yung mga viewers natin for what is IELTS, actually, it's an English test para malaman kung how well ikaw makipag-communicate doon sa language na yun.
in English, I mean. So, ayun siya. So, some schools is requiring you to get one. Pero, yung ibang schools naman, ay hindi naman sila nagre-require. Pero kung ang school mo na napili is hindi nagre-require ng IELTS, ano nga ba yung documents na pinapakuha nila sa'yo?
That's the MOI or the medium of instruction. So, medium of instruction is kukunin mo lang yun kung saan ka nag-graduate ng high school or ng college. Proving na nag-take ka ng English subject while studying here in the Philippines.
So sir, if ever na yung schools na mapili ng mga applicants ninyo for student pathway is may IELTS, ano yung maitutulong niyo sa kanila? Kasi kung gusto nila yung walang IELTS, ayaw nilang mag-take talaga ng IELTS.
Oo.
Ano yung matutulong niyo?
Actually kasi, if ever na yung napili talaga ng institution or school ng isang estudyante is, nagre-require talaga sila ng IELTS. Walang choice yung isang international student na ipa-waive yung IELTS niya. So, it's either magte-take talaga siya ng IELTS and ma-hit niya yung band score na kailangan niya or kailangan ng program niya.
And then, siguro matutulong namin is makapag-suggest kami ng review center. So, actually, we have a partner review center then, which is the 9.09. So, if yung mga kababayan natin, hindi sila ready mag-take ng IELTS and they want to be ready na mag-take ng IELTS, we can recommend 9.09 as their review center for IELTS.
Thank you, sir. Ito naman, aside sa language proficiency requirements, syempre, ang kailangan din nilang i-prepare is yung funds nila.
Yes.
So, ang tanong dito is, what additional options are there in the student pathway if there aren't enough funds?
Ayan. Actually, yan yung nagiging concerns ng mga international student. Kasi to be honest, no, as an international student, we need to have the means to support our study in Canada, no? So, if sabihin ng international student na, sir, ang problema po namin is the proof of funds or mas kilala ng mga Filipinos na show money, no? If hindi sila ready talaga, I highly suggest na before applying kasi as a student pathway, you should be ready talaga ng funds mo.
And if sabihin na natin na gusto talaga mag-aral ng isang estudyante or isang international student, paano ba? Paano ba yung magiging way niya? Actually, may tinatawag na sponsorship. So, pwedeng magpa-sponsor ang isang international student.
Sino yung mga pwede maging sponsor? Actually, kahit hindi mo relatives yan, pwede. Other question ba, sir, kailangan po ba na yung sponsor ko nasa Canada? The answer is no. Kahit nasa ang bansa yung sponsor mo, pwede, wala namang problema. And the question we always encounter with regarding sa proof of funds, sir, sa proof of funds po ba, kailangan nasa aking account yung pera ng sponsor? To answer that question, no need. Kailangan lang po ng sponsor na magpakita ng sponsorship letter, and after that, magpakita lang siya ng bank statement and bank certificate niya. No need to transfer yung funds from account sponsor to your main account po.
So, hindi na po siya kailangan po. So, ayan.
So, yan, sa mga viewers, alam ko na madami na kang information na nakukuha galing kay Sir Rain and dun sa kanilang services. And if you are interested, yun nga, matutulungan kayo ng Roman and Associates Immigration Services. So, ito, kasi karamihan din sa mga gusto mag-aral, may mga asawa, may mga anak. And syempre, ayaw nilang maiwan dito yung mga mahal nila sa buhay. So, ang question is, can I bring my spouse or dependents with me while studying in Canada?
Ayan. Actually, yan isa sa pinakamagandang program ni Canada, no? Sa international student. You can bring your whole family na agad with you.
Even na mag-apply ka pala for the student pathway, yes, you can bring your family. Ano yung magiging status ng husband or ng wife mo? So, as a primary applicant, ikaw yung international student.
And yung partner mo, yung common law mo, yung wife mo or husband mo, ang status nila will be the open work permit. So, they can work full-time without any restriction. While ikaw nag-student pathway full-time, yung partner mo will work full-time po. No restriction siya katulad kung sa'yo na 20 hours in a week lang. Siya full-time. Habang yung anak mo naman is actually, depende sa age, no? Pwedeng maging temporary resident visa yung magiging status niya doon. And if siya naman ay nasa age na for the student permit yun, pwede rin siya mag-aral doon sa Canada. So, ayan.
Tapos sir, doon sa spouse, di ba, pwede silang mag-work full-time without any restrictions. Yung employers nila, kahit saan din sila pwedeng mag-work?
Yes, to answer that question, yes po ma'am. Kasi as I mentioned, as an open work permit, open sila sa kahit anong work po.
Ang ganda din pala ng pag pumasok ka doon bilang spouse or partner ng magiging international student kasi makakapag-work ka full-time. Ano po?
Yes po.
Tapos, ito, ang pinaka-importante or yung ito kasi talaga ine-aim ng mga international students or ng mga gustong mag-migrate going to Canada. So, can you please give me some factors that might affect getting a PR approval?
And, as I mentioned naman nung early part ng interview natin, isang factor talaga if ng permanent residency mo is if ever na i-violate mo yung mga rules and regulations ng Canada. Especially dun sa 20 hours in a week. Kung malalagpas mo yung 20 hours in a week mo dyan, it's a big violation na agad sa Canada yan. So possible, hindi ka mag-grant ng permanent residency mo kung hindi mo i-follow yung rules na sinet sa'yo ni Canada.
Tapos sir, ayan, before tayo mag-proceed sa ating last question, I would like to sabihin sa lahat ng viewers natin na hindi lang student visa ang pinaprocess ni Roman and Associates Immigration Services. So before moving to our last question, I would like to inform all our viewers na aside from processing student visa, ay meron ding ibang pathways ang pinaprocess ng Roman and Associates Immigration Services. So for our last question is, what are the documentary requirements for a tourist visa?
Ayan, actually sa mga viewers right now na gusto namang mag-travel or na-invite ng relatives going to Canada, no? Ano nga ba yung mga documents na kailangan natin? First of all is, if you are invited ng, it's either your friend, relatives, or workmates dati, you should have your invitation letter with you. Pero kung sabihin mo naman sa amin na, Sir, actually wala nang mag-invite sa akin, I just want to travel. Kasi traveler talaga ako and everything. So, all you need to do is you need to present a hotel reservation, your plane ticket back and forth.
And of course, kailangan natin for the tourist is the proof of funds pa rin. Kasi we need to know or we need to prove sa immigration ni Canada na we can sustain being a tourist in Canada po. So actually yun lang, with all the details pa naman, actually we can give it to you clearly once na you've entered the service of Roman and Associates Immigration Services.
Okay, so again, that's our last question. Thank you so much, Sir Ray.
Thank you so much then, Miss Kat, for this wonderful opportunity na mabigyan ng dito sa kagandang platform na to discuss about sa mga pathways, ano nga ba yung mga questions na lagi namin na-encounter po. So maraming salamat po ulit.
So, it is our pleasure na makasama natin si Sir Ray sa ating vlog and may natutunan yung ating mga viewers, lalo-lalo na yung mga interested pumunta sa Canada. So, if ever na gusto nyo pang magkaroon ng informations or may mga inquiries kayo, pwede nyo silang kontakin because they have their social media accounts.
Yes, ma'am. We have our, promote na lang rin, we have our Facebook page, Roman and Associates Immigration Services, and actually, we have Roman Canadian Immigration Services. So, we have 2 Facebook pages po. Actually, we're active din sa TikTok, Instagram, and we're posting sa LinkedIn din. So, yeah, you can follow us on our social media accounts po. So, yun.
Salamat po yan sa...
Thank you so much, Sir Ray.
Thanks so much.
There you have it! If you want to know more about student pathways or other pathways going to Canada, you can follow or contact Roman and Associates Immigration Services and see you on our next vlog. Bye-bye!